Stop.
All right. Connect streaming software to go live. Good morning, San Francisco.
Good morning, Omaha. Should we start doing this like our fake ad reads, just saying good morning from Omaha, and then tomorrow, good morning, Madison, Wisconsin.
Bro, why don't you start this off with with one of our sponsors?
All right, let's start this off with one of our sponsors.
We have so many, we have to search for them.
Yeah, let me find our newest our newest sponsor is our newest sponsor for the show today is Evian Plus Crystal Reserve Water. Tired of drinking regular old water like a common peasant? Upgrade to Evian Plus Crystal Reserve water so exclusive. It's been filtered through the tears of billionaires who just missed out on a yacht auction. Each bottle is handcrafted by monks who have taken a vow of hydration. Available now for only $99.99 per sip. That's $99.99 per sip because your throat deserves better. Go to evianpluscrystalreserve.com. Use promo code WREA 20 for 20% off of your last purchase. Thanks to Evian Plus Crystal Reserve for sponsoring the show today.
Okay, game. All right. It's been a while since I've been able to have some billionaire tears. Super exclusive.
They paid us in that ad with a lifetime supply of billionaire tears.
Yeah, right.
I've been crying a lot lately to fill their reservoir.
Oh, God. Harrison's been holding out on me. Oh, man. All right. Welcome to Find That Flip, everybody. Where do we want to go today? We're talking about Fitchburg?
Yeah, I think we're talking about Fitchburg. Oh, wait, let me share. My bad.
It's not that bad.
Just a little bad. All right. Can you see this?
Game. Got it.
Sweet. 3,600 listings, 3,640 in Massachusetts today. We've been hovering around that number for a while. Pittsburgh.
How many people live in Massachusetts? 7,029,917. So about 7 million people. 3,600.
Probably 2 people per household is the average. What?
Yeah, I think so.
Average number of people in a household
might be like 2.5.
2.46. Look at you.
Boom. I paid attention in that class.
All right, let's check out Fitchburg. We have 19 single families for sale in Fitchburg. Fitchburg is another one of those, it's another one of those old New England mill cities that became, lost their industry, had some economic challenges over the years, but has begun to resurge, as they say. There's a college there, Fitchburg State. There's also a commuter line rail from Fitchburg to Boston.
College rentals is a strong market, especially landlords that are willing to go, kind of by the room rental. This is something we've been talking about in general because I think communal living is just becoming a bit more common with the price of real estate. I was curious, I said 3,600 listings divided by 7 million people, and that's how many listings there are per person. So obviously the pickings are pretty slim for home ownership out there. So communal living is kind of, becoming more popular. And if you can get some type of collegiate housing or contractual housing with like companies. You know, we just had Michelle Mack on the podcast, which we dropped yesterday. If you haven't listened to that, go to Wollaston REI TV on YouTube, check it out. But that's really her bread and butter, and a good model. She seems to be doing great with it.
With by the room rentals.
Yeah, that and like contract housing with, she's not doing necessarily like collegiate housing, but, working with, employers and stuff like that.
Right. That's cool. We hadn't looked at this one, but this one's real beat up.
Cute house.
Yeah. 613 square feet, pretty small. My guess is you can get some more space in the basement.
Or maybe you pop the top on this bad boy.
Could certainly do that. They're all. Doesn't look like there's any stairs to the basement, although the basement looked like it was a walkout. Yeah. So it could have been a walkout.
Maybe you can only enter the basement through the back. We have seen those in East Boston and some of those neighborhoods. It's a little unique, but
if it's just storage, it's not. You're maybe trying to save on. Where's the floor plan? There's not a lot of space in here, so just didn't want to put stairs inside because there just wasn't a ton of room. Yeah. All right, this house may be a little bit too small. This one's priced a little bit lower. Let's see here. 5 J Street. What do we have? A little bit larger, 964 square feet, 3 beds, 1.5 baths. All right, let's take a peek at this guy.
J Street.
What's that?
I said J Street.
Yeah. Investment property, currently rented by the room. Speaking of renting by the room, we sold as is. We keeping tenants. Sold with tenants in place. Yeah. So this is probably what is keeping this on the market for 34 days.
Not too bad yet.
No, looks like okay. So it was listed for hire, withdrawn, back on market, dropped the price by 50 grand plus. It's interesting, I guess, trying to drive traffic, but a lot of people are going to be, a lot of people are not going to want to take on a property with, if they have 3 tenants with 3 bedrooms rented by the room. And, we've talked about it before, but working to get tenants out of a property, if you want to flip this, is, it's a task that, people just like to buy houses and turn them over. They may not want to do, but if it's something that you're willing to do and can take on, and you have maybe have some experience doing that, then this could be a good deal.
I'm glad we're just talking hypothetical here, because we like to buy buildings that are vacant. We like
to buy buildings that are vacant.
We don't even really want to do that, because then you're displacing people, and it's just there's plenty of deals out there. I'd rather buy this thing. Look at that painting. I'd rather buy this thing and keep it as a room rental.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a trying to moving tenants out of an occupied property, if you don't want them there for any reason, whether it's they're the worst type of people and they deserve to be kicked out, or whether you just you're like, hey, I don't do tenants, right? It's not my business. It's either way, it's a messy business.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the basement?
Yeah, this is the basement. If it's rented by the room, then I'm assuming that, this water heater looks to be in good shape. This boiler looks to be in good shape. My guess is everything functions well.
It looks like we've got some pretty high ceilings down there. I wonder if this would be a potentially good opportunity for one of those ADUs, adding, because you've got a private entrance.
Right there. Definitely could be. Definitely a way to to add some income to your property. If that's something that you want to do, you sort of have a quasi multifamily.
Yeah. Here's a pro tip. Whenever you're doing any renovations in a basement, don't skip the waterproofing and the French drain. Just don't skip it.
Not.
Every time.
It is a French drain, is not that expensive. You're looking at $5,000 to $7,500 usually, especially if it's already exposed. Let me find the basement picture. Like this, a lot of this is already exposed. It's essentially unfinished. It's the expense relative to the value that you get from it is worth every penny. And then additional waterproofing from there would be, closed cell spray foam insulation on the walls, which is going to act as a vapor barrier, ensuring that you have proper outdoor drainage, which is a lot easier to do because you're working on the outside of the structure. Looks like that's the exit to the front, but these are things that you do not want to skip. Should you skip on them and then you run into a problem later on, it's going to cost you 5 times the cost to make these repairs.
Yeah, you can also, if you've got kind of a lot of moisture or water, good plantings around the property. You can do a lot of plantings, and those plants will naturally help suck up some of the water.
Exactly.
Gives you an excuse to have landscaping.
Exactly. All right. This is a charming house. Needs some love. Looks like mostly cosmetic. Again, I'm thinking this boiler's working good, right? So you're not having to change out a heating system. These floors look to be in okay shape. This looks like an LVP. I personally don't love the color, but you could certainly keep it. You don't have to add the expense if you don't want to. But doors, trim, paint, lights. What else? Kitchen is small but functional, and in a small house, you're going to have a small kitchen. So I don't think that's anything that I would be overly concerned with trying to make bigger or anything like that. I would just try to maximize the available space. I would do all new cabinets in here, new appliances, all that good stuff.
We're looking at this. So we're looking at this as a flip, assuming it was delivered vacant.
Yeah.
Pardon me, that was a sneeze break.
And if it was vacant, I imagine the price would be a little bit higher, and it's probably already be off market. Would be my guess. All right. So, this is a small house. So you need some curb appeal. My photos are going slow. You need some outside work. You may need some, again, it needs a new garage door. I wouldn't try to sell a house with a garage with a beat up garage door. You can actually install a garage door relatively inexpensively. And you can, if the market doesn't necessarily demand a motor, you could always save money by not doing a motor and it having just be manual open. Obviously people love a garage door with a motor, but if it's not in your budget and the market doesn't necessarily call for it, then it is an expense that you could save. You're definitely going to need gutters. Look at all these icicles.
I wonder if the painting comes with the house.
Try.
I wonder what this would comp out for, but I also wonder. I want to look at that 600 square foot house too. I want to see what, if the top was popped on that. I wonder if that would be a market that would support that.
Could it be?
That might be a flip. That might be a flip for the next episode.
All right. 964 square feet. Here's our address. We're looking at comps now. Vegas 1 mile. And let's go 500 to 1,200 square feet. Trying to narrow our results. Oh, it's only our one house. That's because I haven't clicked these. All right, 14 comps.
170.
One bed, one bath.
What a good deal for a bachelor, though.
Yeah, right. I also feel like that at 840 square feet, that it could be laid out poorly, and maybe someone saw 2 beds here. All right, this is the property we're looking at. 205. All right. Not exactly a comp. 315. It's a better comp. So this is a little over 1,000 square feet. We were at what, 964. So a little bit larger, about 100 square feet larger. 2 bed, 1 bath. Another small yard. Want to make sure you're looking at yard size. Small yard. 315, not a bad number. 235. Huh. Probably not a comp. Just curious. Again, we like to look at purchase comps and for sale comps, or purchase comps and ARV comps, I should say. Okay. 290. Okay, 3 bed, 2 bath, 903 square feet.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Is this the only staircase?
Urban living inside Fitchburg. Feel like you have a loft.
Yeah. Could be the only staircase.
As
Yeah.
tough to get furniture up and down.
Definitely tough to get furniture up and down.
Kind of, other than that, like, if you drink, and you try to hit those stairs after a handful of them, they get a little more tricky.
Yep. 864, 300. Oops. That's right. Okay.
Nice.
Here's kind of a flip comp.
Yep.
315. So we're probably in that, 300 to 315. Oh, no. Listed 315, so over 300. Probably in that 300 range. 2 bed, 1 bath. Again, a little bit bigger yard. 350. This might be a little bit out of reach. Yeah, it's probably a little out of reach for our house. 864, 332. Another small yard. Very charming. Yeah, very charming. Okay. So I think our 350 on this guy. 350 on this guy. 332.
How close are these comps?
Within a mile.
Within a mile?
Yeah. So my guess is you're probably in that 325 range, 315. I mean, you do have a garage. 3 beds, 1 bath.
I like this ability to add the ADU.
Yep. That definitely, if you can do that, is gonna boost the value, because it could be an ADU, it could be an in-law suite. There are a number of different uses for it, or maybe those are the only 2. Could be a man cave. There's 3.
There it is.
Office. There's 4. All right.
Preferred option is man cave.
I kind of hate that phrase, man cave, just because it's been used so much, but it is fun to say.
We started out in caves. Give us back our caves.
That's right. Give me an air bed on the floor, and a TV on a box, and a desk.
How is he so happy? He just lives like a pig. He lives like it.
Oh God! All right, I think 350 might be a stretch for us if we're flipping this, but 325 I think is totally achievable. Yeah, this is a 2-bed. You got 315, and then that little loft one at 290. I think that staircase really hurt it. So, all right. So, what do we want to go with our Airbnb? Kind of in that 325 range.
Okay, let's do 325 with an asterisk.
With the in-law, you could definitely get 325. I would say.
With the in-law, you might be able to even push. I wonder what 2 families are selling for, but yeah, you might. I think so. I definitely think so.
Yeah, you're probably pushing that 350 range. So yeah, 70 cents on the dollar at 350 is all into this for 245. Which is why this was probably purchased at 147.
Yep.
This is purchased at 170.
Yep. They knew.
Yep. So this is 205. I think is relatively close to where I'd want to purchase this. I mean, this doesn't, just looking at it, doesn't need that much. If you get into the basement, then you probably put another 20,000 or so into your basement, 25. But yeah, this would be one that I would call on. It's my guess is they're not going to deliver this vacant. If you wanted to make a move on it, because they're explicitly stating that it's as is, and right. Whoever owns it now knows how difficult it would be. So they're willing to take a discount to take the tenants. I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't want to purchase this for any more than 205. Probably more like in that 190 range.
Have they done a price drop on this?
They did. Yeah, it was originally listed for like 360 or 260.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 259.
Ouch.
Withdrawn. Not sure, what happened there. Back on market a week later, and then price dropped, 2 weeks later. So pretty big price drop, I guess, trying to drive attention to it.
I'd probably put my first offer in around like 160.
Yeah. Yep. Especially if you're taking this with tenants. I don't
know if you remember, Dwan Twyford used to say, if your first offer doesn't insult them, it's too high.
Yeah. Absolutely. I have been there. We were talking to someone on the podcast the other day, Keith, and he was talking about how many times he had been like yelled at or cussed out by people who it may have been in a slightly different context, but I imagine anyone who's put in a bunch of offers has been yelled at or cussed at for offering way too low and effectively insulting the homeowner.
It'll be fun because tomorrow we have our original intern, Greg Camarada, coming on a podcast. He's going to come to Holyoke, check out some of the projects, catch up, which I think will be really fun because now potential new interns will be able to see a podcast with an old intern. But also, Greg was all on the acquisition side of things, and he actually won a $20,000 wholesale with us that summer.
He did. We put a contract on our property on MLS under contract, and then wholesaled it for $30,000 more.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Listen, they're out there.
It's possible. I'm sure that buyer, I'm sure whoever bought it did fine. I mean, Brockton is crushed.
Crushed.
But that was a funny one. That one you don't see every day.
Nope. That was awesome.
And it was on MLS as under agreement. And I don't know if we got it under agreement for lower than the list price. I don't remember the exact numbers.
We did.
So So, but it's, put it under contract and then sold the contract for an assignment fee. So it was, the deal worked out.
Yeah, Greg got yelled at plenty. What do you mean the offer is 170? It's listed for 300. Yeah, I know, but that's like what it's worth all fixed up.
And if I have this house, I'm definitely falling off this section. Maybe a little hallway here to get to the utility area. But then, you have this full size window. I think the walkout looked like it was on, it's on this side. That's definitely what I'd try to do there.
Yeah.
Because you've already got power down here. It's really easy to do work in a space that's unfinished, especially when all your mechanical systems are already down here. Running wire or whatever. Getting a bathroom would be the most challenging, but you could run water lines over here pretty easily wherever you're putting your bathroom. You already have water lines down here where your washer is, your washing machine. And then you probably have to do some sort of pumping system to pump, your sewage back up to then gravity feed down to your main sewer. But all very possible.
Listen, it's a smelly business, but there's quite a demand for plumbers.
Absolutely.
Pump the poop up.
All right.
Into the pipe.
So if you want to buy this house, 5 J Street, give this agent a call. Oh, my next appointment is here.
Nice. Okay, everybody. I think this is a good point to end. Harrison, let's put a call in on this. We got a couple properties to go look at.
All right.
All right, everybody.
Thanks again.
Have a wonderful day. God bless.